Las Vegas. A city of illusions, of promises wrapped in neon, luxury, and adrenaline. A place where people from every corner of the world come chasing excitement, freedom, and fortune. But behind the flashing lights and grand casinos lies a reality few tourists ever see. A reality where dreams don't just die, they disappear. Quietly, silently, underground. They call it the City of Sin for a reason. Because here, indulgence isn't just encouraged, it's profitable. And those who can't keep up with the game, they don't just lose money, they lose homes, connections, dignity, sometimes even themselves. In Las Vegas, every light casts a shadow, and some of those shadows stretch into flood tunnels, dark alleyways, and broken hotel rooms where people try to survive night after night.
It's the worst thing in the world is being homeless.
They push you to a limit out here.
No pity in Sin City, bro.
This isn't a documentary about entertainment or nightlife. This is a journey into what Las Vegas doesn't show you, and what many don't want to believe is real. In the next minutes, we'll reveal the layers of a city that never sleeps. Because for thousands, sleeping safely isn't even an option. From underground communities to broken promises, from high-stakes scams to stories of survival, this is the side of Las Vegas that no billboard ever advertises. Let's begin. Just steps away from the dazzling lights of the Las Vegas Strip, where millions of dollars change hands each night, another world exists, buried beneath the surface, hidden from view, and ignored by most. Beneath the casinos, hotels, and towering digital billboards lies a dark, sprawling network of storm drains, over 600 kilometers long. Originally built to carry flash floodwaters out of the desert, these tunnels now carry something else. The quiet, often invisible burden of Las Vegas's housing crisis. More than 1,500 people are believed to live down here. Not for a night or a week, but for months, even years.
The only thing I really miss is my car and my bathroom and my kitchen.
I've had all my stuff stolen so many times and bulldozed. It's absolutely irrelevant. That has no value whatsoever.
There are no neon signs, no lucky streaks, only damp concrete, makeshift bedding, and the hum of city life above that feels impossibly distant. Down here, sunlight doesn't reach. The air is heavy with moisture. Walls are marked with graffiti, reminders of voices the city doesn't hear. Most who live underground didn't plan on it. Some arrived in Las Vegas hoping for a new start, maybe a job in hospitality, a gig in nightlife, or a lucky break at a poker table. But when rent prices soared, jobs vanished, or a health issue struck, the strip that promised dreams became a one-way trapdoor. What's striking isn't just the darkness, it's the silence. A silence that wraps around everything. Routines built around collecting water, avoiding flash floods, and staying out of sight. Down here, privacy doesn't exist, and neither does safety. Storms can hit miles away and send a violent surge of water crashing through the tunnels in minutes. Entire makeshift shelters, blankets, crates, plastic containers get swept away, along with people's belongings and sometimes their hope. Shelters fill up fast, rent has become unreachable, and the streets offer exposure to even more dangers: unwanted attention, property issues, and constant displacement. Some use candles to light the darkness. Others hang tarps or blankets to create small personal spaces. One woman keeps a milk crate of books. Another has taped childhood photos to the wall beside her mattress, the only glimpse of warmth in a place not meant for human life. You might think this is a story of failure, but in truth, it's a story of survival, of what happens when people lose everything. But still, wake up the next day and try again. A man we met, who used to install lighting at hotel lobbies, now lives beneath the strip he once helped illuminate. "Funny," he said. "I used to make these places shine. Now I hide in the dark." These tunnels are Las Vegas's most painful contradiction. Just meters from billion-dollar resorts, human beings live in the shadows. Not because they chose to, but because no one chose to see them. Every year, more than 38 million visitors flock to Las Vegas. They arrive with excitement, spend freely, chase luck, and then leave. For them, Las Vegas is a weekend, a fantasy, a memory wrapped in sequins and neon. But what about the people who never get to leave? Behind the scenes of the city's billion-dollar tourism machine is a growing number of residents who once came chasing opportunity and ended up stranded in a place that promised everything but gave them no way out. A large portion of Las Vegas's homeless population didn't start that way. Many were workers in casinos, housekeepers in hotels, cooks, bartenders, entertainers, the very people who built the Las Vegas experience from the ground up. But in a city where the median rent has risen to over $1,500 a month for even a modest one-bedroom, and where nearly 60% of renters are cost-burdened, meaning they spend more than 30% of their income on housing, the numbers simply don't add up. According to the US Bureau of Labor Statistics, Nevada's minimum wage in 2024 stands at $11.25 per hour. That translates to just under $1,800 a month before taxes for someone working full-time. But housing alone can eat away most of that. Zillow's latest rental index reports that the average rent for a one-bedroom apartment in Las Vegas now exceeds $1,250 per month. Add food, transportation, and healthcare, and there's little, if anything, left to save. A recent United Way Alice report found that over 43% of Nevada households are struggling to cover basic needs, despite being employed. One missed shift, a surprise medical bill, or a car repair, and suddenly the numbers no longer add up. Many came to Vegas because they believed the city had space for everyone. Artists, hustlers, dreamers, people looking for a reset. But today, Las Vegas is not the same city it was 20 years ago. Even survival now feels gated. Some former performers now sleep in shelters. A man we met used to play piano at a downtown lounge 5 nights a week. After COVID shuttered venues and his savings dried up, he ended up living under an I-15 overpass. He still dresses well, as if any moment, someone might offer him another gig. A woman in her 50s, once employed in a luxury spa on the Strip, now shares a room in a weekly motel with 2 others, all of them working part-time jobs. She says the rooms were meant for travelers, not for people trying to survive. And here's the cruel twist. The same people Vegas depends on, to clean hotel rooms, to run slot machines, to serve drinks with a smile, are the ones increasingly priced out of living there. In 2024 alone, the number of people experiencing homelessness in Las Vegas jumped by more than 16%, according to the Southern Nevada Homeless Census. That's over 6,500 individuals counted, not including those living in cars, motels, or staying temporarily with friends. They don't sleep on the Strip. You won't see them when you check in. But they are there, in the shadows, behind the lights, making your coffee, sweeping your hotel lobby, hoping that this week they can afford both food and rent. Las Vegas was built to entertain the world, but in the rush to dazzle visitors, the city has forgotten some of its own. Because when the music ends, the crowds clear and the lights dim, someone still has to stay and clean up. And increasingly, that someone has no place left to go. Las Vegas sells itself as a fantasy. Neon signs flicker across the skyline. Fountain shows burst to music. Street performers pose for tips while luxury boutiques glisten behind glass. It's a place where, for a moment, anyone can feel like a millionaire. But just beyond the shimmer of the Strip lies a truth that's harder to face. A truth where glamour has a cost, and someone else is often the one paying it. In Vegas, it's not unusual to see a $1,000 dress walk past someone sleeping on a bench, or to sip champagne in a high-rise bar while knowing that just down the street, families line up at food banks before the sun comes up. And maybe that's what makes Las Vegas different. Not just the gap between rich and poor, but how casually they coexist. Luxury lives beside despair. Dreams dance next to desperation. One block, velvet ropes, flashing lights, a red carpet. The next, a quiet alley where someone is huddled under a blanket, hoping tonight is warmer than the last. Many of the workers keeping this city alive, servers, security guards, housekeepers, clock out of their shifts only to sleep in their cars or couch hop with friends. Some change into their uniforms in gas station restrooms. Others eat one meal a day so they can afford bus fare. This isn't just about poverty, it's about invisibility. Because in Las Vegas, appearances matter more than most places. The show must go on, even if the people behind the curtain are running on empty. A local organizer we spoke with put it simply: Vegas runs on illusion, but the people who live here can't afford to pretend anymore. And while billions of dollars are spent on building new casinos, massive entertainment venues, and high-end developments, there's a different kind of construction happening in silence. Makeshift shelters in desert lots, tents tucked behind warehouses, families staying in hotel rooms meant for tourists, not long-term survival. The city keeps growing upward, but many of its people are being pushed out, pushed aside, or pushed underground. Here's the contradiction at the heart of it all. Vegas was designed to make visitors feel rich, even if just for a night. But those who live and work here, many are one unexpected expense away from losing everything. Because when rent eats half your paycheck, when medicine costs more than groceries, when your schedule changes weekly and benefits don't exist, even the hardest worker can't keep up. So while the world sees Las Vegas as a place of endless possibilities, for thousands of its residents, it feels more like a city built to look past them. Behind the curtain, the lights don't shine as bright. And the real question is this: in a place built on spectacle, what happens when people are no longer part of the show? The promise of Las Vegas is simple: come with a few dollars, leave with a fortune. But for most, the truth is far from that glittering dream. Every night, thousands walk into casinos with eyes wide open and wallets ready. The roulette wheel spins, dice bounce. The slot machines light up with a siren's call, and for a moment, anything feels possible. But here's the unspoken rule of Vegas: the house always wins. Let's look at the numbers. In 2023, Nevada casinos generated over $15.5 billion in gambling revenue, a record-breaking year. That number isn't built on winners. It's built on millions of quiet losses, stacked one after another, hour after hour. For every person who walks away a few $100s richer, dozens leave with nothing. Some lose far more than they can afford. Take, for example, the man who arrived in Vegas with his last $2,000, convinced he could double it and pay off rent. After 2 hours at the blackjack table, he had $14 left. That night, he slept in his car, too ashamed to call home. Or the single mother who won $10,000 on a penny slot 2 years ago. She used the money to fix her car, buy her kids new clothes, and came back the next weekend hoping for more. Today, she's behind on bills, still chasing a moment that lasted less than 5 minutes. These aren't rare stories. They're common. And it's not just tourists. Locals, the very people who keep the city running, often find themselves trapped in the same illusion. Some stop at casinos after work, thinking one lucky spin could change everything. But over time, the wins fade and the losses pile up. Las Vegas sells more than entertainment. It sells hope on demand, and no one packages it better. Bright lights, free drinks, a constant sense of excitement. Every part of a casino is designed to keep you inside, keep you playing, and keep you believing. There are no clocks, no windows, no quiet spaces to think. Just the sound of coins dropping and dreams being bet away. And for those who can't afford to lose, the consequences aren't just financial. Some quietly pawn their belongings to keep playing. Others borrow from friends, fall into debt, or miss rent entirely, all chasing one more shot at the big win. Yet even those who beat the odds often find themselves locked out. There's the story of a man once dubbed the Baccarat genius. He turned a few $1,000s into over $1 million using nothing but strategy and sheer nerve. His reward? Banned for life from nearly every major casino on the Strip. Because in Las Vegas, you're welcome to win, but only for a while. Eventually, the house will close its doors. Politely, quietly, completely. That's the irony. If you lose, you're encouraged to stay. If you win too much, you're shown the exit. Las Vegas doesn't punish failure. It punishes success that gets out of hand. The city isn't cruel. It's calculated. And that's what makes it so powerful and so dangerous. Because it doesn't take your money by force. It invites you to give it away, one hopeful chip at a time. So the next time you see someone sitting quietly at a slot machine, eyes fixed, hand hovering over the button, remember, you're not watching a game. You're watching a battle between reality and belief. And most nights, belief loses. Walk down the Las Vegas Strip at night, and it's like stepping into a dream. Lights flash, music blares, people laugh, dance, and pose for pictures beneath neon signs and glittering hotel marquees. Everything shouts, "This is where life happens." But look closer, past the show girls and fountains, past the street performers and souvenir stands, and you'll begin to see something else. A quieter hustle. One built not on grand illusions, but on small, calculated moves. Because in Las Vegas, not all traps are found inside casinos. Some are out on the sidewalks. One of the most common? The photo trap. A group of performers, sometimes dressed as superheroes, cartoon characters, or even famous celebrities, invites tourists to take a photo. It seems harmless. Fun. Maybe even part of the Vegas experience. But after the shutter clicks, the tone shifts. That'll be $40 each. And if you hesitate, the smiles fade. Voices rise. Crowds gather. Tourists often end up paying. Not because they believe it's fair, but because they don't want the conflict. It's not technically illegal, but it's not exactly honest either. Then there's the free gift offer. Common around shopping malls or high traffic areas. A well-dressed person offers a skincare sample or complimentary product. Sometimes they say, "You look tired, want a quick refresh?" It sounds like kindness. But the moment you accept, the pressure begins. Before you know it, a single drop of cream is being charged at $300, sometimes more. And suddenly, you're arguing with a receipt you never meant to sign. Another subtle scheme, the bracelet trick. Someone walks toward you smiling, ties a bracelet around your wrist in one smooth motion, before you can even say no. And then comes the ask, just a donation. If you refuse, the mood changes. They follow, they guilt, they raise their voice. It's uncomfortable, and that's the point. Because in Las Vegas, discomfort is a business model, one that counts on people not wanting to cause a scene. Even in small moments, like taking a flyer from someone on the street, there's a hidden hook. Some contain offers that redirect you to high-pressure timeshare pitches. Others are covers for services you didn't ask for and would never seek out. And when people do fall for these tricks, most don't call the police. They don't report what happened. They just walk away, embarrassed, lighter in wallet, and hesitant to trust the next smiling face. That's what makes these encounters so effective. They're not loud, they're not violent, They're not dramatic. They're everyday traps, disguised as part of the Vegas experience. It's easy to blame tourists, to say they should know better. But remember, many come here chasing something joyful. A birthday, a honeymoon, a break from stress. And that hope, that openness, is exactly what gets exploited. Locals know this game well. Some even play it. Because for those living paycheck to paycheck, the street hustle isn't just a choice, it's survival. And yet, while the stakes feel small, a few dollars here, a lunch gone there, the truth is heavier. Because when a city's sidewalks become a hunting ground for confusion and manipulation, what does that say about the ecosystem underneath? What happens when trust becomes a liability? Las Vegas thrives on performance, but not all performances end in applause. Some end in silence, frustration, and a quiet walk back to the hotel room, wondering how a dream vacation turned so quickly. In Vegas, the bright lights never go out, but not everything that shines is worth reaching for. In a city known for its dazzling lights and billion-dollar entertainment industry, it may be hard to believe that so many residents live just one emergency away from the edge. Yet across Las Vegas, a quiet failure is unfolding, not just in housing, but in the very systems that were designed to prevent people from slipping through the cracks. The truth is, Las Vegas doesn't just have a homelessness crisis, it has a support crisis. According to the Southern Nevada Homeless Census, over 6,500 people are currently experiencing homelessness in Clark County on any given night, a 16% increase from the previous year. And while shelters try to meet the rising need, most remain at or near full capacity throughout the year. The city does offer short-term assistance programs, including emergency shelters and food distribution. But access is often limited by eligibility requirements, long wait lists, or lack of transportation. For people without reliable internet, a permanent address, or an ID, even applying can become a barrier. And while federal programs like Section 8 exist, the reality is sobering. Waitlists can stretch over 5 years, and available units are few and far between. Medical care is another critical gap. Las Vegas ranks among the lowest in the nation for hospital beds per capita. For those without insurance or stable housing, finding a doctor, let alone consistent care, becomes a near impossible task. Mental health resources are also stretched thin. Nevada has one of the lowest per capita rates of mental health professionals in the country. When someone is in crisis, there are few places to turn. And when those services do exist, they're often overburdened and underfunded. People who fall behind on rent, who lose a job, or face an unexpected medical bill often have nowhere to turn. Without strong community safety nets, their situation escalates, from temporary hardship to long-term instability. Not everyone experiences homelessness the same way. In Las Vegas, the challenges facing women without stable housing are often quieter, but no less devastating. According to data from the Southern Nevada Homeless Census, women make up nearly 40% of the city's unhoused population. Many are single mothers, seniors, or women fleeing unsafe situations. Some live in shelters, others sleep in cars, motels, or on the street, where the risks grow with each passing night. For women, homelessness often comes with a different set of fears. Safety is a constant concern. Finding a secure place to sleep without the threat of harassment or theft is a daily battle. Some women rotate locations every night. Others rely on daylight hours to rest because nighttime feels too dangerous. A 68-year-old former caregiver now spends her nights in an aging sedan, parked in a rotating list of church parking lots. She keeps a baseball bat under the seat, not because she expects danger, but because she's learned to prepare for it. And for mothers, the weight is even heavier. Many are doing everything they can to protect their children, even if it means hiding the truth. One woman we spoke with keeps her 2 young kids in matching pajamas, brushes their hair in the public library bathroom, and tells them they're camping when they sleep in the back of their van. They don't need to carry this burden yet, she says. Many women in these situations work. They clean hotel rooms, care for seniors, prepare food in restaurants. Their jobs are often low wage, their hours unstable, and their benefits minimal. When rent goes up or hours are cut, there's little room to recover. Women seeking help also face long wait lists for shelters that accept children or provide private spaces. And when shelters are full, options become few. Motel rooms that cost more than a week's wages, or sleeping in places not meant for anyone to call home. And through it all, many women remain invisible, their stories untold, their voices unheard. Because their goal, every day, is not just to survive, but to stay unnoticed enough to stay safe. These aren't just women without homes. They are mothers, daughters, grandmothers, people who once had plans, apartments, routines, people who still have names and dignity, even when systems fail to see them. And yet, in their quiet endurance, there's something unshakable. A quiet strength that says, not giving up, not yet. Las Vegas remains a symbol of glamour, but behind the neon lights are stories no billboard ever shows. We've seen the people living beneath the strip, the workers who can't afford rent, and the safety nets stretched far too thin. And yet, hope still lingers. In Free Meal Shed, in neighbours who look out for one another, and in the quiet resilience of those who refuse to give up. So the question is not just, what happened to Las Vegas? But also, what kind of city do we want it to become? What do you think about the issue of the dark side of Las Vegas? Please share your thoughts in the comments section. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to support the channel and stay updated with our latest videos. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video. Please note, the information in the video is compiled from public and reliable sources, aimed at analysis and providing a reference perspective. The video is not intended to incite, criticize individuals, or provide financial legal advice. Viewers should consider additional information before making a decision.